Hello, good evening. This is Brother Benson Media, and today is a Saturday. We are blessed to have a conversation here with my brother, Mr. Miguda. I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to the channel, and kindly, if you're new to the channels, you can just subscribe because if you do so, it is a way of supporting us, and we really appreciate. Allow me to recognize the presence of our good friend Gypsy Corner at the comment section. Nasema hi, we're also saying hi back. We hope you're doing good. Asante sana kwa kukua wa kwanza kucomment ama kutusalimu. Before we get into the topic of today, let me give this opportunity to Mr. Miguda to also say hi to our viewers before we proceed.
Greetings to our viewers. We still maintain that this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say your opinion counts. Also, I'm saying hi to our good friend Gypsy Corner, and yesterday I never saw Gypsy Corner. Gypsy Corner was missing in action yesterday. Anyway, welcome each and everyone. Let's have a very engageful discussion.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Miguda. To our viewers, once again, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. Again, if you're new, maybe you're watching us for the first time, kindly like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll really appreciate. Yeah, so Mr. Miguda, today just wanted us to briefly talk about, some trending political statements. Just as the topic goes, abduction and killings are state-sponsored. Those are the comments of the former Deputy President, His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka. He said these statements when he had also visited the Nairobi City mortuary with a close political allies, Eugene Omalwa, Ferdinand Oititu, among others. And, they were giving the opinion concerning the bodies which were actually found, the bodies of the three Mlolongo guys who were abducted. And so we just want to have a look at this, his comments. Remember, Kalonzo Musyoka at one point was a deputy president and he served in very senior positions in the Republic of Kenya. He's also ran for the deputy, both presidency and deputy president position. He's a senior lawyer and he's also a senior Kenyan citizen. So my question to you is, being that he's a lawyer, he has a good understanding of what the law says about the lives, about the runnings of the government. What is your take if you see political leaders? The other day it was Cabinet Secretary Muturi, who is also part of the government in power. We are also seeing Senator Wambua was there. We are seeing senior political class. And the question that we're asking ourselves is, what is it that is tough for the political class to simply understand the citizens? Today we are seeing them, coming out to, seek, they say to seek sympathy from the people, or I would say that they're trying to show that they are concerned about what is happening in the Republic of Kenya. We saw the president did that while he was the deputy president with his comrades, the likes of Ishungu. At one point, they came out while doing the campaigns and they were very particular. They said that the abductions and killings should stop. And they referred to the ones that were happening in Siaya. If you can remember, maybe you can also look that clip and play. What is what is changing that once these guys get into the political these political positions, they simply forget about what they've been preaching, and they, you know, they start doing the exact things that they criticized while they were not in power. President Ruto and his comrades criticized the abductions and the killings, extrajudicial killings, which were happening in the Republic. When he was sworn in, he said that in my government, we are not going to see such kind of things. And within 2 years, we've seen massive killings, more than what we saw in 10 years of the last government. What is your take on the stand of the political leaders? Are they really being genuine when they come out to, defend or to show that they are, in having some sympathy for the wananchi? And what is it that makes them change or feel that it is okay that when they're in power, abductions or killings are okay? And if one of them, CS Muturi criticized this, and I was just watching the news, I saw the comments of the political leaders. Honorable Ruben, a very young member of parliament, but if you see the stance that is always taken, he's saying that there is a lot of blame game. He's telling us that Muturi was a speaker, and so he should not speak about this. The question we're asking is, if he was a speaker at that time, that does that justify that they can do killings, or killings can happen now, and if he raises it, it is wrong? What is your take, Mr. Miguda?
Thank you, Marco Bura. And maybe to begin, I'd like to say that two wrongs doesn't make a right. That's what people like Ichungwa and Ruben are trying to tell us. Remember, even during the burial of Speaker's mom, Ichungwa said that in the previous regime, Natembeya executed and presided over the abductions and extrajudicial killings. Does it mean that if it was done in the previous regime, the current regime can as well do it because the previous regime did it? That is not good, and we are objecting it. And the argument of Ruben does not justify anything, because he's admitting that indeed we are doing this abduction as a government, but we are doing it because even Muturi, the previous regime did it when Muturi was the speaker. Muturi never condemned it. Muturi never talked about it. Now let Muturi keep off. Let us do it, because by the time you are quiet, now you should be quiet. The Ishungwa and Ruben statements alone are evidence enough to prove that indeed it is the government who is doing these things, because they are relying on the previous regime's actions, that the previous regime did those actions, and with them they are not exemption. They have to do it because the previous regime also did it. That is nonsensical. That is not how our leaders should argue or should reason. And I wonder even the crowd, the audience who are cheering up to them. Because if something was wrong 10 years ago, it can't be right today. And because I never condemned it 10 years ago, so I should keep off, I should keep quiet because I never condemned it. Those are nonsensical. Abductions are wrong. Extrajudicial killings is wrong. And anybody is condemning it. It doesn't matter at what time you're condemning it. We are with you, we support you fully as the people of this Republic of Kenya. Kalonzo was the vice president, Marco Bura, just to correct you. Kalonzo was never a deputy president. He was vice president before the 20 constitution. And as a former vice president and a senior politician and a senior counsel in this country, Kalonzo has a duty to condemn the extrajudicial killing and the abduction, because Kalonzo has followers. Even if there are few people, But those people listen to him, they follow him, they want him to condemn the wrong act, whoever is doing it. We have not said that it is the government, but whoever is doing it. It is only Muturi who has said that it is the government, and Muturi has proved that it is Mr. President William Ruto. They can look for Muturi and ask him those questions, because for us, we don't know who is doing it. We believe that there's it's abduction and it's a video killing, but the person who is carrying it out, according to Muturi, it is the government of the Republic of Kenya. And even the officials or the senior most people in that government are coming out to defend that you should not condemn, should not talk about it, keep it off. That is just their admitting. That is admissibility. Makobura, in my view, it's admissibility that we are doing it, but you should not talk about it. If you talk about it, we will come for you. We will abduct you, or we will do for you whatever we are doing for those people. It's a wrong way of argument or a wrong way of responding to your opponent, in my view. And as a people, there are those leaders who have been consistent. There are those leaders who have been with the people for a while. There are those leaders who have always defended the rights of the people. There are those leaders who have always defended and protect the property of the people. From time immemorial, there are those leaders who have stuck with the people. Come what may, they have been with the people. We will remember them. When we walk into a polling station, we shall not forget those leaders. We will remember them, and we can assure them that they will reap whatever they sow. And for those people who have always been stubborn, and they think that things are not transforming the country, it's high time some of them will not make a comeback with the people, because people are just quiet. People don't want just to rush over things, because they want people that the only way to remove someone is through the ballot. And they thought that ballot will be 2030 or 2050. They thought that 2027 is far. It's near. It's just somewhere around the corner. And in my view, I just like to say that consistency for a leader and principality. If you're a principal and you're consistent in defending the rights of the people and the property of the republic, then the people will give you a reward. One day, when they meet your name on the ballot, the people will reward you for the good work you have done for them, because you have truly represented them. And we will never forget those leaders. But those people who are not studying the people also will deal with them at the right time.
Okay, thank you so much. You've spoken about something that if you criticize, they will come for you. They can either throw you away, or they can either throw you away, or they can abduct you. Since Muturi is currently under pressure from the UDA leadership, they are criticizing his move, of coming out to criticize the government that is part of. So some of them are saying that he should resign, or they are going to show him the way. My question to you is, you you have the knowledge of what the constitution says. Is there anywhere, would you kindly clarify that if it is written anywhere in the constitution that if you are serving a government, you should not criticize them? And what is it that you should do? Maybe if you feel that the government that you're serving is not really listening to you, or is not really doing what the constitution that you swore. Remember, all these cabinet secretaries, they carried the Bible, of course, and also swore to do what is right, to follow the constitution, and all that it undertakes. So my question to you is, in this scenario that CS, my former attorney general, is coming out to say that it is wrong, what is happening under this government is not right, and then now some of junior officers, the members of parliament, I would say so, are saying that he should go, he should resign. What is your take on that? And what does the constitution, or say or clarify on that matter?
In my understanding, There's nowhere in the provisions of the law that you should not critique the government or you should not do any oversight. Because you understand our constitution as that structure, that doctrine of separation of powers, checks and balances. And it is vested on the arms of government. And even the members of parliament as a whole, the bicameral house, the Senate and the National Assembly, they play that role of oversight. One of their primary functions is to oversight. The question comes in, who do this parliament oversight? The oversight executive. If the parliament has been given that mandate by the constitution to oversight the executive, who are you to come and tell the people that you should not oversight? You must oversight. Oversight includes even criticizing where there's a problem. Parliament oversight, executive oversight, judiciary also play that role of oversight. That separation of powers, checks and balances. They oversight each other. They check that power. That power must be checked. And this is how it has been balanced. But most importantly here is the issue of the people, because that constitution talk about the all sovereign power belong to the people. Is the people who are sovereign. There's a difference between supremacy and sovereign. The people are sovereign, then the constitution is supreme. So if we the people, we are sovereign, and you are our representative in the executive, National Assembly, or judiciary. Your primary role is to represent us, oversight on our behalf, and no one should threaten you because sovereign power you have been given by the people to exercise that power. Therefore, people are the one who are sovereign here. And in my understanding, I don't see any problem with a member of a state criticizing the same state, because it's like a watchdog to the public. If something is wrong in the state, it is wrong for everybody. There are no first-class citizens whereby those who serve in the state offices are first class and they are not affected. We are all affected as a state. And provided that your actions or your critics does not contravene the Bill of Rights and fundamental freedoms, or your critics or your action does not contravene the supremacy of the Constitution, or does not contravene the sovereignty of the people, I don't see any problem with you making any critique. The people who are afraid of critique, the question is, if you know that you are not responsible or you are not liable of anything and someone has criticized you, why are you worried? Why are you coming out to threaten people, or to, if you know you're not doing that thing, you should just be sober? Because like right now, me, I'm not abducting anybody. And if you call out that I'm abducting people, I have no business to respond to you, because actually I'm not doing it. But why must you respond? Does it mean that there is admissibility they are trying to send to the public? If at all that thing, they are not taking it. But what I want to say is that the Muturi, if they have any problem, they let them go for Muturi. Because Muturi has been unequivocal that it is the government, and specifically he has talked about Mr. President, and he has also alleged NISPOS, Nodinaji. Why can't they arrest Muturi so that Muturi can explain those things in the court of law? As simple as that. Let them just arrest Muturi so that we can end these things once and for all. Because Muturi has come out and has declared there is evidence that Muturi has mentioned the people are responsible. And I don't see any wrong, provided that your critics does not contravene the Bill of Rights and fundamental freedoms. At the same time, your critics does not contravene the supremacy of the Constitution. You are at free will. And we usually said in this channel that this freedom of speech or freedom of expression, it is limited, we agree. But provided that there is no incitement, there's no spread of hatred or propaganda to any war, you are not limited. You are free to express your views and opinion.
Okay, thank you. There's a question here from from our good friend Gypsy Corner. Gypsy Corner is asking a question. Kalonzo confirming that the abductions and killings are state-sponsored. What is he going to do about it instead of pressure for every given opportunity for political reasons? Mr. Migura, I'm coming to you again on this question. And, what I'm going to ask you is, of course, we know that there's a side of political class that are on the opposition side. And the role, of course, is to ensure that the government in power is really following the constitution. So my question to you is, what is it that the opposition can do, led by Kalonzo Musyoka and his comrades? And again, this CS Muturi is still serving in the government of William Samoei Ruto. In his position as a cabinet secretary, serving as a cabinet secretary in a government that is, the government of the day, what can he do? So, it is so tough for us to understand, because let's say if suppose maybe I was a member of parliament, my people would expect me, or the people of Kenya would expect me that, you know what, I am maybe closer, to the government officials. Maybe I can influence that. Remember, Muturi is a cabinet secretary. Just the other day was attorney general, and there's nothing he can do. And with that whole position, who then should we expect to, ensure that Kenyans are served in the right manner, Kenyans' rights are, respected? What can he do with this, the position that he currently holds? Is it just a position that is, do we say that the cabinet secretaries are like flower girls, members of parliament? Because from where I see it, I understand the fact that with these positions that they hold, they can influence, some of these decisions. And we are seeing a cabinet secretary is also holding a press, and talking to the people of Kenya, also crying the same way the citizens are crying. What is it? Kindly clarify to us, based, of course, on the question of our good friend, Jeps Icona. Maybe before you come in, allow me to acknowledge the presence of Silas Odhiambo at the comment section, Judith Karitha at the comment section, Kiwanuka Nsereko. Karibu sana Kiwanuka Nsereko. This is Brother Benson Media. And here we say that your opinion counts. If you are new here, Kiwanuka, kindly like and subscribe so that whenever we will be having these conversations, you'll be notified, and possibly you'll be joining us for these conversations. Mr. Migura, what is your take on the question that is at hand?
Just leave that question. I'll finish with it. Do not remove it from the screen. The current opposition, Kalonzo and the friends, let them just continue doing whatever they're doing, because that is their role right now. They have to fight for the people. They have to put the government into check, because that's the right thing to do minus them, put the government to check, many things can go south, but we don't want many things to go south. It's enough for the people. We have heard and we have seen enough. You don't want to hear and see many things. Let us move on as a country without those things happening again. We hope so. We don't want those things to happen because they are not good. They are not good things as for the state. Kalonzo and the team, but most important, let them unite. Let them have one purpose. Let them not have selfish interest, or let them not be egocentric amongst themselves. Let them put Kenya first, Kenya mbele, ama Kenya kwanza, but not KK. Kenya kwanza, but not KK. Let them put Kenya kwanza for the benefit of all Kenyans, the population. CS Muturi, in my view, right now, he has 3 options, or there is 3 options for him to be removed as a CS. He can decide to resign. You know, resignation is volition. You by yourself, you decide by yourself, or from your advisors, you can resign from the cabinet. If you see the cabinet is not deemed fit for you to serve, because you are objecting whatever they are doing and you are privy to the information, you can resign. Because I can resign and argue that I was unable to work effectively as the CS in that cabinet because of 1-2 reasons. Number 2, in case he dies, also that position can remain vacant. But we don't want him to die. We want him to live for long because at least he's revealing some secrets. And number 3, the president as well can fire him because it is the president who hired him. If he has that capacity to hire him, he has the same capacity to fire him. The president can fire him. I was looking at it into this context. Maybe Muturi want to be fired so that he can have that sympathy card back to the ground that I tried to object valid questions in the executive. And when I tried to object valid questions from the people, I was fired. That person is not good for the people. And Mr. President is also playing smart, that he wants him to resign by himself so that whenever he goes to campaign into Mount Kenya, he can have something to talk about that. Nilimpatia kazi, akaacha peke yake. I gave him a job, akaacha. Sasa mtu ameacha kazi peke yake, lazima unamlazimisha na kazi? Hapana, hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Huyu alipatiwa kazi, akaacha. That is now what Mtu does not want the president to score a goal. Mtu does not want to score his own goal. Mtu does not want to score own goal. He doesn't want to score own goal. That is why he's still pressing, he's still injecting to an extent that he wants the president to fire him. And president also is playing smart so that he can have something to talk about whenever he goes to the region, that watu wa Mount Kenya wakipatiwa kazi wanaacha tu. That's what they wanted to do with Rigathi Gachagua. If Rigathi Gachagua could have resigned, today he could not be popular in Mount Kenya. Rigathi Gachagua was very much ahead of the game because either way, he was going home. So let them take you home by force, but don't take yourself home, because he could have gone to Mount Kenya and say, okay, mimi sikumfukuza, alijiuzulu peke yake. Mimi sikumfukuza, yeye alijiuzulu tu. Mtu wa kujiuzulu ameshinda na kazi. Right now, Rigathi Gachagua is having Ruto for a breakfast in Mount Kenya because he was chased and he said that Mrima iliguzwa. That is how this thing work politically. In the political context, CS Muturi must wait for him to be fired. He will not resign. He will now be disobedient. By 1, he will not attend those cabinet meetings. That he will be disobedient, and he will not even he will keep on disclosing some sensitive information to the public. And also in the political field, maybe Muturi has set agenda to the people that abductions are happening in the government. Now the government, or in quote, all the state officers are now responding to Muturi that there are no abductions. It's like now people are fighting back and forth. Abductions, no abductions. People are now forgetting about corruptions. People are now forgetting about tribalism. People are now forgetting about appointment of same tribe in the government. People are now focused on who abducted who abducted who, previous regime, current regime, abduction, extrajudicial killing. People are just focused on those. Like today, if you watch what happened in that rally, Ishungwa and Ruben, they are just responding to Muturi. But there are valid questions. People want roads. People want people want water. People want health facilities. People want the education to be transformed. There are valid questions in the country. People want reforms, want transformation economically. But now people are deviating from the real issues. People are now starting to talk about issues like who abducted who killed who was speaker, who was president, who is the speaker, who is the president. You see, this is more of it's more of a deviation of whatever people should be focused as a country, in my view, and that agenda has been set. Let's respond to the second question. Kalonzo confirming that the abductions and killings are state-sponsored. What is he going to do about it instead of pressers for every given opportunity for political reasons? I agree with Jepsakona. It's more of a question and also a comment. I agree with your comment, Jepsakona. What is he going to do? That's a valid question. In my view, Kalonzo is not going to do much other than pressure, because this is someone we know. We have lived with him in this country. We know his politics very well, and he's one of the politicians who are, in quote cowards. And such politicians are afraid of William Ruto. he cannot go beyond pressure. He will just limit himself in the pressure so that people can view that he's fighting for their rights. But Kalonzo ought to have gone. He need to go beyond pressure, in my view, if he's a serious candidate in 2027 elections. But if he's not a serious candidate, then let him just stick to pressers, and serious candidates will emerge and will go beyond pressure. There are many things he can do. I'm not at capacity to advise him. If I could be close to him, I could have advised him to do 1, 2, 3. But for now, let him continue with the pressers, because in my view, he's going to meet a very serious and a very shrewd politician, that is William Ruto. And you must be very careful with that guy. You don't underrate him. And if you are serious about removing William Ruto, you should do beyond pressers. You should do beyond whatever, going to the Nairobi Funeral Home, calling pressers. Then the question is, so what? You have called pressers. What? Nowadays, people don't reason the way Kalonzo think. Because we have been telling people that the government think that people are still behind. Even the opposition think that people are behind. Both the government and opposition think that people are behind. Even we are tired of those pressers. We want actions. If you cannot do action, let him leave that opposition seat for those people who can do action and can take the country forward. Makubura, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, allow me to acknowledge the presence of Linda Kanini at the comment section. Asante sana Linda. Judith pia asante sana. Kuna ndugu yetu Mdumez. Bye. Karibu sana. Thank you so much for joining, and we hope you're doing good. Yeah, so allow me to read this comment from Gypsy Corner, saying that freedom of speech in Kenya depends on how you interpret it. In real life, there is no freedom of speech. It's always class within reasons. I agree with our good friend Gypsy Corner, because we've seen the political class. Sometimes they actually go against what the constitution speaks about. Sometimes they break law. Sometimes they get into criminal activities. We've seen them accused of murder, and some of them have not been. There's no any action that has been taken to them. And there is a member of parliament who was actually he's supposed to be in jail, but since he behaves like a spokesperson of the president of the government. He's still free. There is a good number of members of parliament who are accused of, rape, some of them murder. They're still within the government, serving very well, protected by the state. And so it is true that as much as we are talking about freedom, here in the Republic of Kenya, there is a class of people that truly enjoys it. In Kenya, Mr. Miguda, nikipatikana for example nimeiba tu kuku, nitapelekwa mbio na nitapelekwa hadi jela. But in this political, guys, they steal a lot of money, they get into corrupt dealings, wanaiba hata pesa za wagonjwa, KEMSA, pesa za fertilizer, billions of money, and there's nothing that is done to them. So I fully agree with you, Gypsy Corner, that of course we have a law in the Republic of Kenya, we have a constitution, but part of it, the truth of the matter is, it is being followed by the normal wananchi. The millionaires or the people in power are no longer, they are not really subject to the laws which we have. So that is my comment on that. Maybe something else that I wanted us to talk about is the issue of the IEBC. It is, IEBC is, we've spoken about it, people are still speaking about it, but the fact of the matter is, we still need to talk about it because you know how critical, how important the role of the IEBC is in the Republic of Kenya when it comes to election and boundaries. And so there's still so many questions and so many questions that the people of Kenya are asking on the IEBC. Remember the late reconstitution. Remember the boundaries are supposed to be reviewed. And again, there's so many laws that are still not being understood on that, on the IEBC and its role. And so they're also seeking for some clarification from the court. And so this is taking long. And again, the timeline that is still remaining is also not so good or so nice. It cannot allow for the, all these things which are needed. So partly the IBC was trying to seek for help from court if maybe they can get an extension of time, because they're arguing that the timeline that is there cannot allow them to do the boundaries and also get ready for what is coming ahead. But this is a fault of the political class because the people of Kenya started raising these issues even before election. We went to election immediately after the election, and they've never taken any serious action into it. So what is your take, Mr. Migod? Is it that the political class are the ones who are trying to mess or slow down the whole process so that IBC finds itself at a point where they'll not be able to conduct a free and fair election? And remember how the people of Kenya have been very keen when it comes to the IEBC and their role. The people of Kenya expect much from the IEBC. But how are they going to, how are they going to manage within these timelines which have been given? What is your take on the problems that are befalling IEBC?
The problems that have been befalling IBC should be solved and should be concluded as soon as reasonably possible because of the timeline of elections. Our elections are just around the corner. 2027 is not far from today. And we need an electoral body that is going to carry out that election. Because even if you leave aside the issue of general election, currently there are people at constituency level who are not represented in parliament. people of Ugonja are not represented in parliament because there is no IBC. Members of ODM are supposed to have one nominated MP in parliament. They don't have because of IBC. There are some MCS who are not, some wards where people should go for the elections, they have not gone because of the IBC. IBC, even there was a question in court didn't regard the Gachagua impeachment. A question was raised in court that who declared or who declared Kindiki when he was nominated by president, because they say that IBC cleared him. Which IBC cleared Kindiki? That question was asked in court. The problem of IBC is that's as Kenyan, and the government should act swiftly to ensure that they have put an electoral body into place for the people of Kenya. That commission is very important and urgent currently because we are just about to go to general election, and there are some special elections which are supposed to be carried out in the country, because each and every person deserves that right of representation in the National Assembly. That's what we're trying to say. The issue of IBC, when it comes to politics, I don't think that it can add any value to any politician as per your question, because we understand that IBC has always had a problem in this country. And in 2017 elections, IBC results were declared null, invalid, and void by the Chief Justice Emeritus, David Maraga. And their elections were declared null. It means that is a clear indication that IBC has had a problem in this country. And when IBC has had a problem in this country, we cannot live in denial that IBC is perfect or there is accuracy in IBC. There have been issues with this IBC. You need to do a lot of research about it, but let me give you a brief history. Before it was formed as an IBC, when we had a new constitution, there used to be issues of register. Each and every Supreme Court, if you go to look at those Supreme Court cases, the 2013 case was about the issue of register. And there was this argument that there are those people who died and their names were in the register. And they could, I don't know, resurrect on the election day, they walk at a polling station and vote, then go back to their graves. That question was with the IBC about the register. Then before 2017 election, there was this question of BVR, biometric voter registration, whereby there were people who were opposed to. No, that BVR the question was before 2013 election, that the procurement of the BVR, that people should be identified biometrically. But the question was, if I walk into a polling station, then I don't have the bio to be identified. What can I use? There was this question that if you cannot be identified biometrically, then you can be identified manually at the polling station. Those questions has been around about in the IBC about registration, BVR. Then there's this question also has been raised about IBC, that presidential election is final at what point? That the presidential election should be final at polling station. Then why do you bring it at constituency level? Why do you transform it from 34C at the National Tallying Center? Then what is the purpose of National Tallying Center if we have the polling station? Why do we carry our result to National Tallying Center? Those questions of IBC has been here and there. And even right now, there was a bill in Parliament which was assented by Mr. President to be law. It was IBC law. Remember? The previous, where they have a joint consensus with Odinga and Kalonzo at KICC. It was signed at KICC. So we have had a continuation of problem with the IBC as a country. The issue of boundaries. The question comes, the issue of, let us put it part-time or full-time. The question now comes, why can't we deal with this issue once and for all as a nation? Because our elections are permanent. Periodically, after 5 years, we do have elections. And that board is very fundamental to the people of Kenya. And let us, even there were some recommendations by the Supreme Court to the IBC. There was some recommendation by Kenyans during the time we had the previous agreement between KK and Azimio, where Kalonzo chaired and Imani Chungwa during the NADCO report. There was some recommendation collected from the Kenyan people concerning IBC. Why can't we deal with this issue once and for all as a nation? Because we have had issue with the IBC, the electoral body. In my view, I don't know what they will do, but I'll just recommend that as a nation, let us deal with this issue of IBC once and for all, because it's very fundamental. It's a body that is a commission that carry out our elections, and our elections are very important because it's our elections that form the government.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miguda. I can see our good friend Peter Kimani in the house. Peter Kimani, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. To our viewers, if you're new, this is Brother Benson Media. Kindly like and subscribe to the channel, and we will really appreciate. There's a comment here from our good friend Peter Kimani saying that Kindiki position is illegal because there was no active IEBC. The deputy president position is cleared by IEBC chair, not as that of the president. So Kindiki was sworn in illegally. All those issues raised. Mr. Migudo, with the understanding of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, what does the Constitution say, and how do you clarify the comment of our good friend Peter Kimani, who clears the deputy president?
In the case of an impeached deputy president, remember Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. When he was impeached, there are timelines in the Constitution that within certain dates, within certain days, you are supposed to do certain things. Like the impeachment process was supposed to lapse within 11 days. Then from there, the president has like 14 days to nominate a new deputy president. Parliament has like 60 days to approve that nominee. Then the question comes in, what was the hurry? What was the hurry? And also remember, if you follow those determination or the decision by the judges during the final determination, this issue of IBC, after nomination of the deputy president by Mr. President, the name is supposed to get to IBC for clear. They were supposed to clear him. Then they take it to the parliament for approval. Then he can go on to take an oath of office. And remember, that question of IBC was raised by the respondent, the petitioners' councils. They asked that question. And judges responded, and one of the judges responded that the country, the public interest, then the issue of the public interest come into, if you read that judgment, that Kenyan people deserve a deputy president. Kenyan people need someone to occupy that office. Once it's left vacant, someone should occupy it immediately. Then we don't need to rely, according to that determination, on those timelines, because we had urgency to fill that office. That office can't be vacant. And that's how the respondents' councils end up laughing at them in the court that, wow, we have won this case. And that's how that case was won, on a simple argument that the people of Kenya, they deserve a deputy president. That office can't remain vacant because the impeachment process is political process. It ends at Senate. You only go to court to look at some irregularities, illegalities and maybe the technicality of the process. But the process ends at Senate. Once the Senate has had their last word that Gachagua was impeached, then the process of nominating a new deputy commences immediately. That's why Mr. President, with the power restored upon him, he has that prerogative power to nominate a new deputy president. That's exactly what Ruto did. And now the problem is, where was this guy cleared? That's where the question was in court. Where was this guy cleared? Because then it means like one step was skipped because he was approved by members of parliament, then later sworn in. But who cleared him? Because we never had a constituted IBC in the country. That when that question was raised in court, it passed like a cloud. And the issue was like, Kenyan people deserve a deputy president. That office should not be vacant. Therefore, the order which was received from Karua Law Court was discharged, and some were set aside, and Kindiki was allowed to go on to be sworn in as the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. I think we will just go to court and to seek for clarification, but that is now water under the bridge. As you seek clarification, Kindiki is the current deputy president. As you seek clarification, Gachagua is an former deputy president. I think that is the status of the question, Marco Bura, and that is the status of the IBC.
Okay. Thank you. Benson is saying that my friend is wrong. Okay, Benson, what we do, we'll do some research on what happened on this, and then we'll come back with we'll have a discussion on this topic again. Remember, it's something that took time a little bit longer, and so we have to go back to some clicks and do a good verification on that. Mr. Miguda, you can note that, and maybe you can also confirm with your reference, so that when we come back, we'll give a clear clarification on that. Yeah, so I think, I fully agree with that. The issue of IEBC is a serious thing that we need to look into as a people, because remember, if the IEBC is not currently constituted, then that means that we're still going to have problems in 2027, and there's a possibility of that election being compromised. So we also urge the relevant authority to ensure that everything is put in order, because the people of Kenya deserve, an election that is free and fair, that is not compromised by anything. Jeff Saikona is saying Kindiki also being played like Gashagwa with Ruto. Why don't we have a smart politician in Kenya instead of having short-term enjoyment with taxpayers' money? I've been asking myself the same questions, Jeff Saikona. I think the level of greed in our political class, wao wanataka kukula tu, they don't want to think about tomorrow. Wao wanapita nayo ile kitu yenye wameona, kesho wanasema ni baadaye. So that is why they are not giving any chance. Ukiwapea position leo, they don't want to know the process that they was used to get that seat. In a similar way, the way Kindiki got it, he does not really want to know how he got there. What he wants is he's there, and so he has to maintain. It's that unfortunate, but we hope that we will get the right people with humanity in them, people who have conscience in them, people who will say no when they feel that things are not okay, people who will resign when they feel that this government is not serving the interest of the people. We will get to know whistleblowers, people will say no, you cannot get into corruption, or try to siphon the money of the taxpayers without them knowing. We hope that we'll get those kind of people. We believe they're there, but they've never been given the opportunity. So we pray that next time, Kenyans, if we are making decisions of electing our leaders, kindly let us be very, very keen. Let us give it to people who have been tested and tried, people who have humanity in them, people who has the interest of the people, the interest of the country. But at this point, the ones that we have, the level of greed in them is what is really driving them, and it's that unfortunate. We hope and pray that the coming days we will have the right leaders. Yeah, so that is my take on that, Gypsy Corner. I agree with that comment that you've given to that you've raised. So, Mr. Miguda, we're almost finishing. Maybe the last thing that I want us to just have a look at kidogo before we finish is the issue of ODM party. We are getting conflicting messages from the party of ODM. And so the last one we had from the deputy party leader Simbarati, who is the governor of Kisii. He said that ODM is here to stay and that they are going to fill every position, political position within ODM. And again, remember, he's coming from Kisii. There's a good number of Kisii leaders who have also said that they are going to have their own party, a party that they are going to use to support one of their own, Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i, to State House. The other day, Simbarati had a very stern warning, to the ODM party and also to the party leader that if they are not respected as a region, they will have no option but to walk away and come up with something that will help them as a community. So my question to you is, Simbarati said that they are not supporting the government. The only thing they did is to, give the president their experts. And so the experts are assisting the government. And they are not, as a party, in the government. But again, he also reminded the people or party lover, the people who supports the party, that the only spokesperson for the party is one, uh, Edwin Sifuna, the senator of Nairobi City County. If you can remember, sometimes back, they had a different opinion. Most of them were saying that Sifuna is not speaking on behalf of the party, and that the party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, had said that they support the government and they're doing it without questioning, even without having even a single question. And that was supported by the likes of members of parliament, the member of parliament, Opondo Kaloma. And so my question to you is ODM headed to its deathbed, or what is it that is happening? The level of confusion here and there, and different comments from party leaders and party officials. What is your take on that, Mr. Migoda? And maybe before you come in, allow me to say a big thank you to our friend, Gypsy Corner. Thank you so much. We've accepted that with a lot of thanks. We are very much grateful. Thank you for supporting us, and thanks for the coffee. Tumeshukuru sana. May God bless you. Mr. Migura?
This issue of ODM, this issue of ODM is confusing, Makobura, and sometimes it gives me problem with my friends who are going to buy with ODM tickets. My friends are telling me that, there are friends who want to get tickets in ODMs. When you talk about it, they tell you, oh, but you are spoiling for us things. This issue of ODM, I just want to let me just maintain my stand. There is no harm intended here. This issue of ODM, in my view, ODM is not going to, people are saying that ODM is going to imeisha, ODM haijaisha, ODM iko, and ODM is there, and people are also saying that Sifuna is going to walk out, Babu is going to walk out. No. I told you, they're not going to walk out. This hawa ni wale. There is how they're playing their cards. But what I know, if you right now, if you want to know direction for ODM, currently Junet Mohammed is quiet. It's a clear indication that something is wrong somewhere and something is happening somewhere. That's why Arati is very confident, Sifuna is very confident, Babu is very confident. Junet usually gives me direction because Junet can speak Raila's mind and Raila's heart. Junet has taken a pause. He used to talk bad about those who have taken stand against the progress, but currently Junet has taken a pause. That's a clear indication that something is cooking somewhere. And just to tell you a little bit of what I know, Raila usually do his politics. Those who are now at the inner circle of Raila. Raila can you can go to Raila. He will not oppose. He just tell you, okay, you want to join government? Go. I can't control your politics. Okay, you want to be in opposition? I can't control. Those are inner circle. Usually don't control the inner circle politics. You don't know, sometimes some people have gone to Karen or whatever, wherever he is, and they have tried to persuade him. You know, Raila, it's a matter of persuasion. If you can persuade him that whatever you are doing is wrong, he will give you a listening ear. Whatever you're doing is right. So it depends on how you're going to persuade him. But the easiest way to persuade him, just tell Raila that the country, the interest of the country, then Raila will easily be persuaded. Maybe Arati, Sifuna, Babu have gone to Raila and tell him that Raila, right now, the people are not feeling good. The people are not the way they used to be. Maybe he's currently persuaded that actually we made a mistake. That's the easiest way to persuade Raila. Just put the interest of the country first. And that's how Ruto also persuaded him. Ruto, they went to him and told Raila, right now, if in case you side with the Gen Z, we are done. And when we are done as a nation, because the nation, look at the nation, it's better to have a bad government than not having a government at all. It's better to have a bad government than being a stateless. And that's how Raila was persuaded very easily, and he donated those experts and joined William Ruto. But currently also there are those people have walked to my Baba, right now things are going south. That's how it's very easy to persuade Raila. Just put the interest of the country and the people. He will listen to you very easily. And that is what is happening currently in ODM. There's two sections. Those people want to be in government forever. They don't want to get out of it beyond 2027. And those people still insist that we cannot support this government because we are not benefiting from the government directly. And those people, ODM also, there's those people with stand, and there's those people who mean business. People like Arati mean business. And when they say they are going, they are going. Sometimes Raila will usually caution them. I think that's the problem in ODM, that those people want to stay in government, that those people want to be in opposition. But that's just what I'm gathering from the people who are a bit close to Raila. That is what I'm gathering from them. Whatever opinion you have, you are at liberty. You are not limited. You can have your opinion, it's okay. I can have my opinion, it's okay. But what I'm saying is what I got from those people who are a bit close to Raila, that look at Junet Mohammed. When he's quiet, things are not good in that house. And Simbarati is very confident that that's why I'm telling you, there's something that is going to be concerned Makobura, that ODM is here to stay, and those three guys are not moving out of ODM.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miguda. Before I get into something else, allow me acknowledge the presence of Mad at You. Thank you so much for commenting. This is Brother Benson Media. Kindly like and subscribe. We always have this kind of conversation. You can always join. Just like and subscribe so that whenever we are having a conversation, you'll be notified. Allow me to also acknowledge the presence of Collins Meshak. Asante sana Collins Meshak for joining. Again, we request you to kindly like and subscribe to the channel before you leave so that whenever we'll be having this kind of conversations, you'll be notified. Thank you so much for those of you who have been with us and have given the opinion at the comment section. We are very, very grateful. Yes, so Mr. Miguda, just still on ODM before we finish. If it is true that ODM is still there to stay, you know how ODM has been, how strong or how the way it has existed. It is one of the parties that have existed for quite some time, and we've never seen a serious or major shake within the ODM. But this time round, remember, is the political leader, who is the party leader of this party, there's a possibility that he might not come back to the local politics, to get involved in the local politics. And remember, ODM is Raila and Raila is ODM. What is your take on the future of ODM should Raila exit? Because for the first time we've seen young members of parliament or young leaders, the likes of Simba Arati, the likes of Sifuna, the likes of Babu Owino, you know, these are young politicians who are also very much loved within the ODM party, and they've had a different stand with the majority. Remember, ODM party has been led by Raila, and if Raila says left, we all turn left without questioning. And for the first time, we are seeing some members of parliament or some leaders questioning that move. Raila said that we are going to support the government and we are going to donate our experts. And the Secretary General of the ODM party is saying, no, those people, once they left us, they are no longer here. They are answerable to the people of Kenya. Baba Wina is also having the same stand and he's saying that I did not impeach the deputy president because of 1, 2. He was Akunikosea. I've never seen him do anything wrong. And even if he was accused of tribalism, according to Baba Wina, he's saying that all those political people that you're seeing are all tribal. And so he doesn't see or he didn't see any valid reason to impeach the deputy president. But again, he's also saying that I cannot support this government because it does not respect the rights of the people, it does not respect the constitution. I can see mad at you saying uh, all this must go home. I think he means that the political people that we've seen, the old political class led by Raila Amolo Odinga, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Daniel Arap Moi's, whatever lineage, Ruto's lineage, Kalonzo's lineage, should not be given a chance in the political limelight. What is your take on those, Mr. Miguda?
If you talk about all this going home, all this also include Matiangi, include Gachagua, include Kalonzo. All of them are oldies. There are no oldies in only in Western region. Oldies are an oldies and oldie. If all these are going home, let them go, all of them, even those who are currently in opposition. Even Eugene is an oldie. Let all this go. I support mad at you. I support him 100%. Let all this go. This issue of ODM Makobura. The reason why I'm seeing that, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing ODM going to go anywhere, because currently we have governors of ODM who are going to defend their seats on those counties with the ODM ticket, and ODM is a party. Sometimes ODM was nicknamed as ODM Reloaded. Remember, Ruto is a product of ODM to some extent. Mudavadi came out of ODM. Many people have come out of ODM, but ODM has always been there, even when it is only existing in Nyanza, part of Western Coastal region. But it is there. It has numbers in parliament because it aided Ruto to impeach Gachagua. It's a party that you cannot ignore. And also, he has members of parliament in Nairobi's capital city of the Republic of Kenya. He got so many members of parliament from Nairobi. So you cannot ignore ODM in the political parties of this country. And Nyong'o, in my view, Nyong'o is just a placeholder. We know the right owner of ODM. We know who owns ODM. Even you know who owns ODM. Nyong'o is just holding that in case Raila goes to AUC, I don't know how it will work, but if Raila fails to go to AUC, Raila will automatically come back to occupy the position of ODM as a party leader. And ODM, in my opinion, is not about, though it's about the party leader, but even ODM has got people. There are those people who believe in ODM. There are those oldies who believe in ODM. Or those oldies are still here, they are not going to go somewhere in 27. They will be exercising their democratic right in 27 during elections. Those oldies, they will still get directions. And there are those people who are psychophans and they are loyal to the party. They want also, sometimes Makobura tried to go to the village and move out of Nairobi a bit and try to go to local, those strongholds of ODM. There are those MCS who are elected on ODM ticket, MPs, governors. With them, that's the song they are singing back into the village. And there are some villages, if you talk about other parties, they will not recognize you, but this how these people naturally they resonate so with the party. And when you have that ticket of the ODM in those areas, sometimes you don't need to campaign. You can be elected and opposed. And sometimes that ODM nomination is like elections in those regions. ODM nomination. And there are people who are going to defend their seat with ODM. They will not just relax and watch ODM going. That's why maybe I don't see ODM going anywhere. And even Babu Owino, whom you mentioned, said that he's ready to face any candidate in ODM nomination for the Nairobi gubernatorial. Let them face it with Wanyonyi. Let nobody be given a silver platter. That's a clear indication that ODM is still critical, particularly in the region that is enjoying its support, like the Luo Nation, some part of Luya, and the coastal region. That's why I'm still maintaining my point that ODM is not going to exit in the current political of even the political of 27. ODM is there, and we are here. We will still see how ODM it will work, but don't worry about Anyang' Nyong'o. Anyang' Nyong'o is just a placeholder for sometimes. It will be shown out when that pan comes back. You remember, people are forgetting, Raila can be AUC chairperson, but once he becomes the AUC chairperson, there is still that option of resignation. Raila is not limited. He can become AU for 1 year, then he can resign and come back to the ODM. And Makubura, let me just respond to that question. Then I'm just leaving. Miguda, are you trying to say that Raila has not resigned officially from ODM, so he's allowed to come back as it pleases? I never saw any formal resignation from Raila. There was no formal resignation from Raila as ODM. Nyong'o was just imposed as the party leader, and it's just holding it's just a brief hold. That's why I say that Raila can come back and become the party leader, because there was no formal resignation. Raila did not resign formally as the member of ODM, did not resign formally as the party leader. Those are just things they're just talking in the public forum.
Maybe to add something on that, if you've always seen how Professor Nyang' Nyong'o is being addressed in these party meetings, he's being addressed as acting party leader, not as the party leader. So I think that's critical. That says, that clarifies something. Raila is there to stay in ODM and is still the party leader of ODM. Ni ile tu ametoka kidogo, anashughulika na mambo zake za AU, but is fully in ODM, and every decision that is being made is made under his instruction. Remember, ODM is a company, and the CEO, the shareholder of that company, is one Raila Odinga. So you cannot separate Raila with ODM. That's a fact. Them telling us that he is not party leader, those are fallacy. Those are statements which are neither here nor there. They're just saying that for the purpose of so that such questions may not be raised, especially now that he's going for that UC seat. Yes, so I want to take this opportunity to give a thank you to Gypsy Corner. The wording really matters. There's no way you can refer to a whole professor that the acting party leader. That says something. If you are a student of literature, every statement, every word, every comma, the tone that someone uses when they are addressing or speaking about something really says or, clarifies a lot. So I think from my literature, when I go through everything that I've been seeing in ODM, I can comfortably say that Raila is still in ODM and ODM is still Raila. So yeah, that is my take. I wanted to say thank you to a special thank you to everyone who joined us today. I'll mention them by name: Gypsy Corner, Judith Karitha, Silas Odhiambo, Kiwanuka Nsereko. That name, there's a saint called Seruma. I'm forgetting. So when I saw this name, it reminded me of a saint, a Catholic saint that I know of. And then I want to say also thank you to Mdumez Bai. I want to say thank you to Linda Kanini. I want to say thank you to Peter Kimani. I also want to say thank you to there was Benson Amondi, asante sana. Mad at you, asante sana. Collins Meshak, asante sana. We really appreciate the fact that you took your time and you all decided to join us and listen to us. We don't take it for granted. We are very, very much grateful for your time. And I just want to remind you that this is for the Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. We always have these discussions. If you're new, we can as well give you a chance. If maybe you want to join the panel so that you give us your view, you just communicate via the comment section and we'll give you a chance to also, give us your view. Remember, here we say that your opinion counts and your opinion is also valued so long as it is not going against the rights of others. So that is what we do here. We are very much grateful that you took time to be with us. And something else that I wanted to say is that To our politicians, I think they have a mandate. This is something that they decided they were going for, so they are fully aware of what their role is as the leaders of the Republic of Kenya. So I would like to remind the leadership of the Republic of Kenya that let them have the humanity, let them respect the humanity, let them speak about issues affecting the people of Kenya. Let them come up with solutions which are going to ensure that the lives and the economy of the people of Kenya is well taken care of. The issue of abduction and killing, I think in this time, this generation, we shouldn't be seeing such kind of things. Hizo ni mambo za kitambo. It is so unfair. It is so uh, uncouth, or it's a stupid behavior for any leader that is not that do not want to welcome the views of other people, whether they are having a different opposing decisions. I think they should not be killed, they should not be abducted, because remember, every life matters. It is wrong for whoever is abducting the people of Kenya to kill them. It is wrong for young families to be left. I was watching at the three men of Mulolongo. They have families, they've left their young wives, their young sons and daughters, just because maybe they had, a negative, an opposing voice to the government or to the political class. We need to come back to our senses and ensure that we respect the views of the people. And if someone has a different opinion to your belief, it is good to accept, because we all have our brains and they work differently. We think differently. So my prayer to the political class is that let us be human. Let us remember that power is transit, and you can have it today, tomorrow you might not have it. So kindly treat others the way you expect to be treated tomorrow when you're not there. Let us forget and let us not get into politics where if today I'm a leader, I try to, curtail the rights of others. And then tomorrow, if maybe I'm not a leader, and then the person who comes also remembers the bad thing that I did, I think if we go that direction, we are not going to solve the problems of the people of Kenya, and we will not be doing justice to the citizens of the Republic of Kenya. Remember, when we are going for these elections, we always promise the people of Kenya, we always have a list of what we are going to do. So before you get elected, of course, you'd have convinced the people of Kenya. And so let us just remember that and ensure that we follow the list of the things that we promised the people of Kenya, and we try our level best to ensure that we perform as per the expectations. That is my take for today. And again, to our new friends, kindly like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll really appreciate. I want to take this opportunity now to wish you all the best wherever you are. I want to wish you a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you are. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you tomorrow. Santeni sana na Mungu awabariki.